Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And we have the skill preview for the new Schemer Playful Cat Burglar Lumi, and we got both skills again, so maybe they're just going to do this and not make us wait in anticipation every new unit release. So let's take a look at what she does, because she looks to be kind of good. So she is light, as expected, because she's coming on a banner with a whole bunch of other light EX characters, so there was no real question there. She is, of course, a speed type unit because she's on a burst team. She's on Schemer, Octogram, and Commander, which now Commander has a few different things going for it. But first skill, 25 points. Applies the all target attack state to Schemer and Octogram Demon Lord characters for 2 turns. So that is the same AoE skill that the Exalted Champion Masked Hero has that she does for herself, where if you send one orb, it's going to hit 3 people at maximum because it's an AoE orb. If it's a single target attack, or if there's only one enemy, then it's not really that much different. But if there's 3 people, you are going to hit all 3 of them with it for every single orb, and that's why I use the Wind Master Hero in my Valor Cup, just kind of farming team, because I can kill people very quickly. This Lumi is going to help a lot with that now, because not only does she have the AOE state for 2 different forces, Schemer and ODL, which are fairly ODL is pretty big, but she also applies the multi-hit state to green orbs, adding 3 attacks to all green orbs. So that is actually improving on the Protector of Peace Hinata that we have been using for the past week and a half, because Protector of Peace Hinata gave the multi-hit, but it only gave 2 extra attacks of a fixed percentage. So you would, every time you would send an orb, you would hit 3 times. Now every time you send an orb with its Lumi, you're attacking 4 times, plus having the AoE. So in an AoE setting, if you're Schemer or ODO and you use this skill, you're doing a lot of additional damage for one single orb against everybody. So that's actually a really good skill. I'm probably going to use this a lot in Valor Cup now. I'm probably going to change my entire Valor Cup team to accommodate that, because it is very powerful. And on a team that wants you to get multiple hits, adding 3 more attacks for every single orb is kind of huge. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 18 more hits on your orbs instead of doing the 12 like we were doing with Hinata. So that's just going to ramp up the hit counter for the sword gimmick even faster. And the AoE hit ensures that, maybe like in the AoE Jubilee stage where there's 3 enemies, you're really, really going to ramp that counter up, because you're doing 18 hits per times 3, because you're attacking 3 different people at once with an AoE orb. I'm sorry I don't have gameplay. Actually, no. Let's see. I think the JP one has. Oh no, it's right here. Hold on. So let's turn that off. Okay. So AOE attack state, multi-hit state. So now the orbs are glowing. Perfect. So now let's send all 6 orbs in this video. And boom, boom. So there's 4 hits per thing. And you can count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 right there. And if we pause, there's the initial hit, the 10,000. And then we have some 1800, 1800, and then a synergy hit over here for 24. So 4 hits on Clayman for that one singular orb. And if there were 2 other enemies next to Clayman, then we would also be doing pretty much that same amount of damage to both of those targets. So all 3 of the people would get a 10,000 hit with an 1800 normal hit. And maybe if you synergy, you do 24. So that's how this skill is going to work, and it's gonna be pretty good to play into the gimmick, but also, like, especially for me who uses it in Valor Cup, like, I'm going to use it a lot for just a farming team. So it's already not a bad skill, and the fact that it lasts for 2 turns is even more impressive, because Hinata only lasted for one. You had to use that every turn, and that became fairly expensive on this team because it was 25 points, and every time you use it, it goes up by 20. So now only having to use it for half the amount of time is incredibly good to play into the Soka's multi-hit skill, the Soe attack stacking because of the inspire effect. So this is good for what the team needed. And then looking at the second skill, 90 points, which is pretty hefty. Soka only costs 50 with the synergy, but increases physical attack of all allies, including the rear guard, by 100%. Okay. And then decreases everybody's synergy resistance by 40%. And just like all the other characters, if activated within the first 5 turns, it's 120% synergy resistance down. So within the first 5 turns, let's now count. We've got EX alt damage going from 20% to 100%. We've got synergy power going from 50 to 100%. And now we're going to have synergy resistance going from 40 to 120%. This is, you will do as much damage as possible in 5 turns, and then somehow, if you don't kill with that, you'll have a sword gimmick that's going to be insanely buffed up by the first skill. Her ult is an AoE light physical for 150%. As expected, she is a support ult character, schemer, and commander. So she's buffing 2 different forces. That's fine. Commander also has quite a few. I'm not I'm not entirely sure why it's not schemer and ODL, because you're buffing ODL up here, but then you're gonna buff commander down here. I kind of wish they made them symmetrical, and that way you know that she's gonna buff everything that you're bringing her for. But okay, sure, whatever. And that's 60%. But if you just pull her and don't do anything, it's gonna be the 25%. And then EX alt damage will double that effect, so 50% or 120% if you fully rock her out. So overall, we don't know the trait yet. We won't find that out until later tonight in about what time is it? Like 23 hours and change. Uh, but I mean, this Lumi is kind of good. So physical attack is great because you know who needs physical attack? Blanc. What hap- What happens if you give Blanc with her massive damage buff and the dark resistance down? You give her an AoE normal orb and you have it hit 3 extra times? Like, just think of that damage. Just normal orb damage while being buffed by physical attack, plus the 100% physical damage buff, plus synergy something. Right? I think this Lumi has quite a few applications. She is just the power crept version and the synergy version of Protector of Peace Hinata. Protector of Peace Hinata gave a physical attack buff 70%. Now it's 100. She gave crit resistance down, where if you use 300 points, you doubled it, so it's like 100% crit resistance down. Now we're doing synergy resistance down. She had the multi hit skill, and then the second effect of Hinata was alt damage stacking, which we don't really need right now. So yeah, this Lumi is just the power crept version of Protector of Peace Hinata, and that's a good and a bad thing. Good because Hinata was getting old, and this is obviously a much better kit. The bad part is that now people are going to want to summon because she's actually got some good skills, and I'm going to put the prediction out there that they're going to give her the skill point trait on every 2 turns, because the team does need some skill points still. If they do that, it's going to be unfortunate for people that don't have crystals. Let's just put it that way. Do I think you should summon for her over Soka and Soe? Probably not, because she is going to be on a single featured unit banner. It is just going to be her as the new unit and a whole bunch of other light characters that we don't know yet. So the value there is a bit low because one new character versus 2 new characters. But if you are like if you like this kit, she's kind of worth a summon, especially if you're really going in on the schemer meta and the sword gimmick. Like it's gonna be really useful. But if you're still on the fence or you don't have a lot of crystals and you're not sure where to summon, I would still summon for Soka and Zoe because that's still the protector and the DPS character. You could add supports from other places if you needed to, and having two featured characters is a whole lot more value. Or you could choose to wait for the third and final banner that'll come out probably a week from now, and most likely will be a Rimuru because Soka needs a Rimuru in her ability release board. We'll find out what this Lumi needs, but if it's also Rimuru, then probably getting a Rimuru. I don't know how he fits in the schemer, but we'll we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But let me know what you guys think of this new Lumi. Are you impressed with her? Do you think this kit is good? Are you going to use her for a lot of different places like I am? Let me know in the comments. But that's it for me. Take it easy, and I will see you all later tonight for the summons.